Hi there, this is Solitary Ronin from Solitary Ronin Films, and welcome to another random review. Today we're going to Russia, 1956, and yes, it's another Deaf Crocodile release. It's Ilya Muromets, or The Sword and the Dragon, which is both a literal title and a figurative title. And this is Deaf Crocodile number 3, hence I don't have a slipcover. Heavens to Murgatroyd. But as always with Deaf Crocodile releases, the slipcover image is in the inside. And I'm sure if you were a technical whiz kid you could actually make your own slipcover of that image. But I'm not. This is another Aleksander Ptuschko film. In Deaf Crocodile I did a video on the tale of Tsar Zaltan, which is amazing. And Sampo, which is amazing. So Ptuschko is kind of known as the Russian Disney, and hopefully Deaf Crocodile will be releasing more Ptuschko films. If anybody's from Deaf Crocodile is listening, Dennis, if you're listening, because Ptuschko did a Sinbad film, I'm sure we'd all like to see that. He did a version of Gulliver's Travels, I'm sure we'd all like to see that as well. This is Region A. And this is another absolute corker. The more Ptuschko films I see, I'm convinced that Sergei Bondarchuk must have seen Ptuschko films before he did War and Peace in 1965. Because again, the colour palette, the compositions are very Ptuschko-esque, if you like. Again, this is kind of based on a Russian folk tale. This is quietly a kind of Russian propaganda film, really, about how we're all stronger if we stick together. And of course, ironically, with world events, this is really about the attack on Kiev by the Tatars. But of course, we can't draw parallels to what's going on in Ukraine at the moment. And the Tatars raid the village, because they did raid villages as well as making sauce, and kidnap lots of people for slaves, including a fair maiden. And Ilya Muromets, the title character, is kind of strangely paralysed. He can't move his arms and legs. And Kiev looks as though it's going to fall under the Tartar thumb. A very saucy thumb. I'll stop talking about tartar sauce now. But these strange wise men turn up and give him some magical herbs. And he is got the use of his arms and legs again, and he's quite strong, as all Russian warriors are, obviously. And he, instead of helping his mother and father with the farm and doing the ploughing, he's going to go to Kiev and defend Kiev against the Tatars. Obviously there's court intrigue, there's a betrayer in the midst. Again, I'm not going to go into the details of the film because it's just such a ravishingly stunning visual piece of work that, again, I don't want to go into too much detail. But there is a wonderful Snow White-esque scene where Ilya's girlfriend is creating a magic kind of tablecloth with the help of her animal friends. And again, if you've seen the Tale of Tsar Zaltan, Ptuschko used, puppetry. There's the amazing sets production design. There's also painted backdrops, use of matte work. It's all the tricks and the quiver. It's pure cinema. But during this wonderful Snow White-esque scene, there's a rabbit playing bongos on tree stumps. There's a heron using a spinning wheel. Again, round every corner there's a kind of composition or a shot or a scene that just makes you laugh but also be quite awestruck with just the inventiveness of Ptuschko and how he tells his stories. Again, it's a simple story of good and evil, and how great communism is. But just the gorgeosity level is pretty high, as with all the Ptuschko Deaf Crocodile films that we've seen so far. It's a 4K restoration of the 35mm print, and it does look spectacular. Along the way, Ilya has a son called Little Falcon that he doesn't actually see because he's away fighting. And obviously Little Falcon has his own journey, and will he ever meet his parents again? But again, I'm not going to go into that too much. There's just amazing battle scenes. Again, it's the little things like when Ilya gets the use of his arms and legs, and another one of the villagers says, you've got to get a horse, a steed, to help you on your journey, and he brings forward this tiny little horse, but he says if you wash it in 3 morning dews, that's dews, not dews, it will grow. And then of course we see the transition from the tiny little horse into this gorgeous black steed. Again, I'm not going to go into every single scene as I throw a microphone across the room. It's just absolutely gorgeous. So again, I know Deaf Crocodile titles are quite expensive, but if you can only afford 3, I would get the Ptuschko films, because they remind you of what cinema can be, as far as just showing you things that you don't see in your day-to-day drudgery of being a human. They transport you to a fantastical place, and yes, they're simple stories, and I suppose to a modern audience, the effects might be rudimentary or whatever, but for those of us of a certain age, there is a Harryhausen aspect to the films, and I don't mean they necessarily use lots of stop motion or anything. It's just that feel of simpler times and just gorgeous compositions and cinematography, the use of the landscape. Obviously Russia is a vast country. It's strange and beautiful and dangerous, just like all these films. Again, if you've become jaded with modern cinema or anything, if you put on one of these Ptuschko films, you will get the little child inside you back. It's just an absolute joy, and please, Deaf Crocodile, keep releasing these Ptuschko films. Again, did a Sinbad film, and a Gulliver's Travels version, which would be fantastic to see. He didn't make that many films, maybe 12 or 15 or something like that, but they are just stunning if you like pure cinema. These are pure cinema because they are a visual feast. So thanks very much for watching. I apologise, it's another Deaf Crocodile review. I've only got 4 films left to watch in Deaf Crocodile. At some point I will go through the whole collection. There is the latest Deaf Crocodile release winging its way to me because I pre-ordered it, because yes, we're at that stage. I see Deaf Crocodile, I ordered Deaf Crocodile. Yes, it's a shame that they're a little bit expensive, but man, I mean, so far there hasn't really been a clanger. There's a film that's perhaps, there's a bit of a gap between the rest of them, but even that film, which I'll probably get to if I do a overview of Deaf Crocodile, there's a lot of heart to it, and there's a lot of reasons to still pick it up, even if it's not the best film out of the Deaf Crocodile range. But that's a conversation for another day. So thanks very much for watching. Random review of The Sword and the Dragon, or Ilya Muromets, from 1956. Please let me know if you've seen it, what you think of it, what your favourite Ptuschko film is, or your favourite Deaf Crocodile release so far, and hopefully you'll join me again for more random reviews. This is Solitary Ronin from Solitary Ronin Films, saying farewell.